Apple said yesterday it is immediately raising prices on the products.
The company says soaring memory chip prices are driving up costs, and the AI boom is a major factor behind the surge.
The AI trade is leading to real near-term inflation.
On June 25th, 2026, something unusual happened inside Apple. A company famous for controlling costs, protecting margins, and running one of the world's most efficient supply chains suddenly did something it almost never does. It raised prices. Not because of a new breakthrough, not because customers were getting a major upgrade, but because the cost of building technology had changed. Several Apple products became more expensive as the company faced rising component costs, especially from the global shortage of advanced memory chips. And the reason behind that shortage was something much bigger than Apple.
How do you think about this bubble talk that has been going on for the last few months, especially?
I think it's quite possible.
Artificial intelligence. The same AI revolution that promised to make technology cheaper and smarter was creating a massive race for the hardware needed to power it. Companies across the world were competing for the same chips. Data centers were consuming unprecedented amounts of computing equipment. Technology giants were spending hundreds of billions of dollars to build the infrastructure of the AI future. And suddenly, the impact was no longer limited to Silicon Valley. It was showing up in the prices people pay for everyday devices. But while consumers were feeling the cost, investors were asking an even bigger question. For years, the AI story had been unstoppable. Companies connected to artificial intelligence reached record valuations. Chip manufacturers became some of the most valuable companies on Earth. Investors believed AI would become the next industrial revolution. Then the first cracks started appearing. AI-related stocks began experiencing sharp declines. Concerns about massive spending, uncertain profits, and whether businesses could generate enough value from AI started growing. The excitement remained. The technology remained. But confidence began to weaken. Because every major technology revolution in history has faced the same test. Can reality catch up with expectations? The railway transformed the world. The internet transformed the world. But both created periods where investors built too much, too quickly. Today, artificial intelligence has become the biggest technology that humanity has ever made. The world's largest companies are investing hundreds of billions into a future they believe is inevitable. But what if the future arrives slower than expected? What if the world builds more AI infrastructure than it actually needs? What if the greatest technology revolution in history also becomes one of the biggest investment bubbles ever created? This is the story of the AI gamble. The money behind it. The risks nobody wants to discuss. And why the world's biggest technology companies may have placed the most important bet of the century. The machine behind the AI revolution. Most people interact with AI through a simple screen. You type a question. You receive an answer. It feels almost magical. But behind that simple interaction is one of the most expensive industrial systems ever built. AI does not run inside your phone or laptop. The real work happens inside enormous facilities filled with thousands of powerful processors. These are data centers. Think of them as factories where intelligence is manufactured. Instead of producing cars, clothing, or electronics, these factories produce computing power. And AI requires an extraordinary amount of it. Training advanced models requires millions of calculations happening simultaneously. Running those models for millions of users requires even more computing capacity. This has created a global race. Companies are fighting for chips. Countries are competing to build infrastructure. Energy companies are preparing for massive increases in electricity demand. The entire technology ecosystem is being reorganized around one belief. AI usage will grow faster than anything we have ever seen. The trillion-dollar question. The biggest investors in AI are making a historic bet. They are spending enormous amounts today because they believe the future will justify the cost. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, Nvidia. These companies are not investing billions because they think AI is interesting. They are investing because they believe AI could become the foundation of the next global economy. But every investment has one requirement. The money spent today must eventually create more money tomorrow. A factory needs customers. A company needs profits. An investment needs returns. And this is where the debate begins. Because building AI infrastructure is expensive. Very expensive. The question is whether future AI revenue will grow fast enough to match the expectations built into today's valuations. If demand explodes, today's spending could look brilliant. But if adoption is slower than expected, the world could discover that too much capacity was built too quickly. That is the same pattern that has appeared throughout economic history.